We now come to question number 23, asked by the Honorable the Reverend Meshoe to the Deputy President. The Honorable Deputy President.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Meshoe, the ongoing revelations about allegations of corporate capture of public institutions, Reverend Meshoe, have undoubtedly and understandably undermined public confidence in our country, our country's leaders, and our institutions. That we have to admit. And they've tended to erode confidence. That too we must admit. It is therefore essential that these allegations, as I said, are thoroughly investigated as a matter of urgency through a comprehensive and transparent and credible process. As I indicated earlier, this should include the establishment of a judicial commission of inquiry. Allegations of criminal conduct should also be investigated by the relevant law enforcement agencies so that the law can take its course without any fear or favor. Efforts to promote ethical moral leadership, which is what you asked, needs to be strengthened throughout the country. This is an ongoing process that requires the attention of all of us, not just a select few people. Each one of us, you and I, are included in this. In fact, you will find honest, capable, and committed leaders across South African society, in all communities, in all sectors, in government, as well as in the political sphere. There are leaders who are doing excellent work to build a better South Africa and to improve the lives of our people. These include elected officials. They also include public servants, community leaders, civil society activists. And now is the time for these people to come to the fore and to get engaged in what we call active citizenry, as called for also by the National Development Plan. They must speak out against practices that undermine one of our key values, which is the rule of law, the integrity of our public institutions, and they must be responsible for the use of public resources. They need to work to expose wrongdoing, ensure accountability, and where necessary, take whatever corrective measures that are necessary. These leaders need to demonstrate to our people that there are ethical leaders in this country who are prepared to take up their interests and concerns. These leaders need to give our people a good measure of hope and encouragement in their ability to lead from the front with honesty and integrity. This is not a responsibility that can fall on one person. It falls on all our shoulders. It falls on all of us who are sitting here. And it is a responsibility which I'd like to suggest we should take seriously as elected leaders of our people. That's what we need to demonstrate. Thank you.
The Honorable Reverend Meshoe.
Thank you, Speaker and Deputy President. We often hear of political leaders who step down from office due to scandals and corruption caused by their lack of moral integrity, particularly in the USA, Europe, Asia, and so on. But in Africa, this is not the case. Voters who do not seem to care about integrity in leadership allow corrupt leaders to remain in office. Our own government has ministers who also have allegations of corruption hanging over their heads, but who choose to remain in office. President Zuma, who is said to have about 783 allegations of corruption against him, is one example. During your days, Deputy President, as the leader of the student Christian movement in Teflup, you always insisted on ethical leadership. Is that still your position? If yes, how are you helping your colleagues in cabinet, including the president, to be bastion of ethical leadership? I'm sure you'll remember, Deputy President, that when Mr. Mandela was still the president, one day he challenged members of their house and he said, young people out there need leaders of integrity, so members of parliament should be such. So my question to you about this is, are you willing to take that responsibility of challenging these members of parliament to be good role models to young people out there and always overcome the temptation to be corrupt? Thank you.
The Honorable Deputy President.
Honorable Speaker, Reverend Meshoe came short of telling you that we were together at the University of the North. And I was the chairman of the Student Christian Movement, and he was my dedicated follower. Sorry for being flippant in the afternoon. Honorable Speaker and Honorable Meshoe, I'm able to confirm that, yes, leaders should be ethical. Leaders should demonstrate their commitment to great values of integrity. And I would willingly, easily call upon all of us, not so much because, of my position, but all of us collectively as equal members of parliament, that that is what we should be showcasing, particularly to the young people of our country. They should see in us as leaders that we are able to be ethical, we are willing and determined to do things correctly and live by the words that we pronounce. So that I am willing to pronounce quite openly, and I'm glad to see and know that you are also willing to move, to walk that road. So without any doubt, I'm willing to say precisely that, Reverend Meshoe. Thank you very much.